On stage in the early 1980s, the artist later dubbed the Ivory Queen of Soul belted out funk-tinged R&B with a passion few could match. Teena Marie was born Mary Christine Brockert on March 5, 1956, in Santa Monica, California, and raised in the predominantly black Oakwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Immersed in music and culture from a young age, she was a white girl with a soulfully black sound, a talent so undeniable that Motown Records couldn't resist signing her at age 20. Little did they know, this petite powerhouse would not only make musical history with hits and genre-blending artistry, but also change the music industry's laws along the way. Teena Marie's upbringing in Oakwood meant she grew up surrounded by a culturally mashed-up youth, listening to Motown and singing everything from Harry Belafonte to jazz. As a child, she even landed a small TV role on the Beverly Hillbillies and sang at comedian Jerry Lewis's son's wedding, early hints of the performer she'd become. In 1976, the 20-year-old Teena auditioned for Motown, impressing founder Berry Gordy enough to earn a recording contract. Yet for 3 years, Motown struggled with how to market this gifted white singer of soulful R&B. There was even talk of renaming her Tina Trison to mask her identity. Ultimately, it was a chance encounter with Rick James, Motown's brash funk star, that sparked Teena's breakthrough. Rick James heard Teena singing around the Motown studios one day and was floored. "I heard this girl singing her ass off. Here's this white girl. I said, wow, you're really great," James recalled. He promptly chose Teena Marie over Diana Ross for his next production project, becoming her mentor and creative partner. The result was Teena's 1979 debut album Wild and Peaceful, led by the James duet, "I'm a Sucker for Your Love." The song shot into the R&B top 10, and notably the album cover featured no photo of Teena. Many DJs assumed this soulful voice belonged to a new black female star. That myth was shattered when Teena Marie stepped onto Soul Train in 1979, the show's first white female guest, belting out her hit alongside Rick James. By the time her second album, Lady T, 1980, put her image on the cover, Teena's skin tone was effectively a non-issue among fans. She had arrived as a respected young force in R&B, racking up hits like the funky Behind the Groove and soulful ballads that showcased her stunning vocal range. Despite her success, all was not smooth between Teena Marie and Motown. In 1982, after releasing 4 acclaimed albums, Teena delivered new music to Motown, only to have the label shelve it. Frustrated at being kept off the shelves, she decided she would no longer perform under the contracts and left Motown. Motown promptly sued to block her from recording for anyone else, pointing to a contract clause that let them pay her a token $6,000 a year to keep her tied down. Thus began a landmark fight, Motown Record Corporation versus Brockert, Teena Marie's battle for her artistic freedom. Teena countersued, and in 1983, a California court ultimately sided with her. The judge ruled Motown couldn't hold an artist to a contract without releasing new music. Motown's $6,000 loophole was not sufficient compensation to justify the injunction. This victory led to the passage of the Brockert Initiative, named after Teena's legal surname, in California law, which forbade labels from shelving artists indefinitely. "It wasn't something I set out to do. I just wanted to get away from Motown and have a good life," Teena later said. But it helped a lot of people to be able to get out of their contracts. Indeed, her stand made her an accidental hero to fellow artists, freeing acts like Luther Vandross and the Mary Jane Girls from unfair deals. With Motown behind her, Teena Marie signed to Epic Records in 1983 and hit a new career peak. She scored her biggest crossover hit Lovergirl in 1984, a flashy funk pop jam that reached number 4 on Billboard's pop chart. She also topped the R&B charts with the sultry Ooh La 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 in 1988. Teena had proven she could thrive after defying Motown, and in doing so, she blazed a trail of artistic empowerment in the industry. The Brockert Initiative remains one of her most important legacies, ensuring labels can't trap musicians in limbo. Teena Marie was far more than a singer. She was a songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and producer who refused to be boxed into one genre. R&B, funk, soul, rock, pop, gospel. Teena effortlessly fused them all. In her early Motown days, she honed a bass-heavy funk sound under Rick James's tutelage, growling and purring through up-tempo jams like "I'm a Sucker for Your Love." Yet in the next breath, she could deliver a spine-tingling gospel-infused ballad. For instance, on Deja Vu, I've Been Here Before, she channeled pure spiritual fervor, exulting, "I thank God, I am not coming back no more," at the climax. Her voice, a powerful alto with gospel depth, could soar stratospherically on duets like Fire and Desire, and then turn playful and coy on dance floor favorites like Square Biz and Lovergirl. Notably, Teena wrote or co-wrote the vast majority of her songs and often produced them herself, a rarity for female artists of her era. By her third and fourth albums, Irons in the Fire, 1980, and It Must Be Magic, 1981, she had seized full creative control, composing, arranging, and producing every track. On the hit, Square Biz, she even broke into an up-tempo rap, name-dropping her eclectic influences, from jazz legend Sarah Vaughan to poet Maya Angelou, from Beethoven and Bach to Shakespeare. That famous verse was Teena's way of declaring that her artistry drew from all corners of culture. "I'm talking square biz to you, baby," she rapped, chalking up that jazz. "I've got big aspirations, I'm gonna shake you down. I'm a white girl with a whole lot of soul." And she was exactly that, a white artist embraced in historically black musical forms because her talent and authenticity were undeniable. As Motown's Berry Gordy himself admitted, she had so much soul. The only thing white about her was her skin. Over the years, Teena's sound kept evolving. In 1986, she boldly ventured into rock territory with the concept album Emerald City, shredding on guitar and giving her R&B a hard rock edge. She was an ace guitarist and pianist, something she rarely got credit for. She flirted with jazz and blues, and when hip-hop rose, she proved ahead of her time by integrating rap back in '81 on Square Biz. This restless creativity made Teena Marie one of the most frequently sampled artists of her generation. Decades later, the Fugees would build their 1996 hit Fujila around her hook from Ooh La La La, introducing her sound to a new hip-hop audience. Through it all, whether laying down funk grooves or rock solos, Teena never lost the emotional core of soul in her music. Her art was colorblind, much like the audiences who eventually came to love her, effortlessly bridging musical worlds. From the moment Rick James took Teena under his wing, their names became intertwined in music lore. The chemistry between them was electric. Rick was the firebrand funk prince, Teena his protege with a heavenly voice. Together, they created magic both on and off the stage. Their first duet, I'm a Sucker for Your Love, launched Teena's career in 1979, and they followed it with the now classic ballad Fire and Desire in 1981, a smoldering duet from Rick's Street Songs album that fans still regard as one of R&B's greatest slow jams. On stage performing Fire and Desire, Rick and Teena practically set the mic on fire with their passion. Their relationship was close and complex. Mentor and student, friends, collaborators, and yes, lovers at one time. Rick James, protege and lover, one obituary flatly noted, acknowledging the long-standing rumors that the two had a romance. Teena herself referred to Rick as her longtime musical collaborator, touring partner, and one-time love interest. The pair never married, but the bond between them was deep and often tumultuous, like a brother-sister or star-crossed lovers dynamic fueled by music. Even as their careers took different paths, Teena and Rick reunited many times over the years in concerts and special appearances. In the photo above, you see them in 1997, rocking the House of Blues in Los Angeles with a surprise joint performance. By then, Rick had battled serious drug addiction and legal troubles, while Teena had kept a cleaner image, but she stood by her old friend. In June 2004, the duo gave what would tragically be their final performance together, tearing down the house at the BET Awards with a soulful rendition of Fire and Desire. Rick James died just 2 months later. Teena was devastated. "I stopped working when he passed away as it's been very, very hard," she admitted in late 2004, grieving the loss of the man who had discovered her. Their volatile friendship sparked its share of rumors. Gossip swirled about drug-fueled escapades. Rick was candid about his excesses, often dragging Teena on wild adventures, and alleged lovers' quarrels. One story Rick himself recounted is that Teena once literally saved his life during a particularly bad drug episode, a testament to her loyalty. Some wondered if Rick had secretly co-written some of Teena's hits or vice versa, but in truth each was a musical force of their own. Teena frequently said that Rick taught her about studio and stage, the whole nine early on, but by her third album she had bloomed into an independent songwriter-producer. Still, the mystique of Rick James and Teena Marie, the wild man and the ivory soul lady, captivated fans. Decades later, many R&B lovers recall their duets and tours with fond nostalgia, and their names are forever linked as one of Motown's most memorable partnerships. Like any long career, Teena Marie's journey had its dark moments and detours. After dominating R&B charts in the 80s, she faced the changing musical landscape of the 90s. Rather than chase trends, Teena pulled back. She devoted the early 90s to raising her daughter, Aaliyah Rose, as a single mother playing only occasional gigs in small clubs. The once chart-topping star was largely out of the spotlight. leading to speculation about her finances and health. Indeed, those years weren't easy. Nostalgia acts weren't much in demand, and Teena's royalties from old hits only went so far. Yet she made ends meet touring small venues and remained true to R&B even when it fell out of favor. She later confessed she wondered if her tough, funk-laced R&B had gone extinct. It hadn't, and she would prove it with a major comeback. Personally, Teena largely avoided scandal, but in 2004, a freak accident nearly derailed her. While asleep in a hotel room, a massive picture frame fell off the wall onto her head, causing a serious concussion. Afterward, Teena began suffering periodic seizures, a frightening turn for someone whose livelihood was live performance. To manage the pain, she was prescribed Vicodin, and she later admitted that she became addicted to the painkillers for a time. True to form, Teena fought her way back, quitting the medication and relying on prayer and inner strength to heal. Friends say she refused to let health issues keep her down. In interviews, she remained upbeat, never wanting to alarm fans. By the late 2000s, Teena's health appeared stable, though the seizure risk lingered in the background. Meanwhile, rumors occasionally popped up in tabloids, unverified talk of financial trouble. One false story claimed she was nearly bankrupt, which she refuted, or that she was ghost-producing younger artists' music. In reality, Teena was often the unsung helper on other musicians' projects, lending songwriting ideas or backing vocals out of friendship rather than credit. But she rarely publicized it. Some in the industry quietly noted that Teena had written songs for Motown colleagues that she never took credit for, part of the Motown ethos of collaboration. One thing she did publicly fight for was proper royalties. She had feuded with Motown over unpaid royalties in the past, which was one reason for her exit. That history made her fiercely protective of artists' rights later on. The mid-2000s brought a triumphant resurgence. In 2004, Teena Marie inked a most unlikely new record deal with the Cash Money label, home of hip-hop stars. The result was La Doña, her first album in 10 years, and it became a smash hit on the R&B charts. Now in her late 40s, Teena was back in the game, even earning a 2005 Grammy nomination for the slow jam Still in Love. Critics raved that her voice had lost none of its power. She followed up with another acclaimed album, Sapphire, 2006, which featured collaborations with Smokey Robinson and rapper Faith Evans, bridging old school and new. Any doubts about Teena's relevance were silenced. She proved an R&B legend can adapt and thrive in a new millennium without compromising her sound. Through label changes, health scares, and industry ups and downs, Teena Marie's resilience and integrity shone through. She lived for the music, and nothing could keep her from it for long. Teena Marie's impact reverberates in today's music. As a dynamic female artist who crossed racial and genre lines, she paved the way for many who followed. Generations of artists cite Teena as an inspiration. Her success as a blue-eyed soul singer helped open doors for others outside the traditional R&B mold. Pop R&B stars like Christina Aguilera and Amy Winehouse drew from the soulful path Teena forged, proving that soul music transcends color. Even genre-blending icons like Lady Gaga and Gwen Stefani can be seen as benefiting from the walls Teena helped break down between pop, rock, and R&B. Mary J. Blige, the queen of hip-hop soul, has paid respects to Teena as an influence, particularly Teena's fearless authenticity and emotional delivery, traits Mary emulated in the 1990s. Hip-hop artists embraced Teena's work through sampling. The Fugees' hit Fuji La famously sampled Teena's Ooh La La La, with Lauryn Hill riffing on Teena's melody. Decades earlier, Teena had given one of rap's earliest cameos on an R&B record with Square Biz, endearing her to the hip-hop community. Rappers from The Firm, with their 1997 Firm Biz homage to Trick Daddy, who sampled I Need Your Lovin', have kept her grooves alive. Among Teena's most direct protégés was rock soul musician Lenny Kravitz. As a young unknown, Kravitz was invited by Teena to open for her on tour. She believed in his talent before anyone knew his name. Lenny never forgot that. When Teena passed, he posted a moving video tribute, tearfully thanking her for taking him under her wing. Teena Marie was a godmother to me, Kravitz said, crediting her with giving him his first big break. Tributes poured in when Teena Marie died, underscoring the breadth of her influence. At the 2011 BET Awards, neo-soul singer Ledisi delivered a show-stopping rendition of Teena's ballad Out on a Limb in her honor, bringing the audience to its feet. Many contemporary R&B artists, from Beyoncé to Maxwell, tweeted their respects, noting how Teena's songs were part of the soundtrack of their lives. Fellow Motown legend Smokey Robinson, who had duetted with Teena in her later years, hailed her as one of the greatest voices in our genre. Perhaps most poignantly, Berry Gordy declared that Teena Marie's legacy was living proof that music has no color, it's a feeling, a lesson he learned when this ivory-skinned girl from Venice Beach became one of Motown's own. In her final years, Teena Marie was doing what she loved, performing for her devoted fans and creating new music. She released the album Congo Square in 2009, a project that paid homage to the New Orleans roots of R&B and to her personal heroes like Sarah Vaughan and Coretta Scott King. Critics praised the album's depth and Teena's still stunning vocal form. She stayed busy on the road, headlining shows at festivals and casinos across the country. In late 2010, at age 54, Teena was excitedly preparing for a New Year's weekend concert in Atlanta, evidence that her passion for the stage never waned. That's why the news of her death on the day after Christmas 2010 came as a shock. On December 26th, Teena's teenage daughter, Aaliyah Rose, went to wake her mother at their Pasadena home and found her unresponsive. Teena Marie had died in her sleep. An autopsy later ruled it to be natural causes. Likely a grand mal seizure had taken her life suddenly. Just 1 month earlier, Teena had suffered a serious seizure while watching a movie with her daughter, resulting in a hospital trip. She was put on medication and was hopeful about recovering, even planning that next show in Atlanta. She evidently died in her sleep, and her daughter found her. Teena's publicist, Lynn Jeter, explained sadly, noting that Teena had been in good spirits the day before. The suddenness of her passing left the R&B world reeling. Fans and artists alike mourned deeply. Word of Teena's death spread rapidly on social media, with an outpouring of tributes on Facebook and Twitter. Radio stations across the U.S. dedicated hours to her music that week, from Lovergirl to Portuguese Love, as listeners called in sharing personal stories of what her songs meant to them. At her memorial service, R&B luminaries and old friends gathered to celebrate her life. Stevie Wonder sang for her. Smokey Robinson spoke through tears. Many recalled how Teena broke barriers as a white woman in a black music genre without ever pretending to be anything other than herself, a true soul sister in every sense. Teena Marie's legacy endures. She's remembered not just for her string of classic R&B hits, Lovergirl, Square Biz, Fire and Desire, Ooh La La La, and so many more, but for her fearless artistry and the doors she opened. She fought for artists' rights, setting a legal precedent that still protects musicians today. She bridged racial divides in music, showing that soul has no skin color. And through her rich catalog, she continues to inspire new listeners. Modern soul divas, funk rockers, and hip-hop producers all find something in Teena's music to marvel at, be it her powerhouse vocals, her songwriting chops, or her genre-blending flair. As the years pass, Teena Marie stands as a testament to staying true to one's artistic soul. She was, and will always be, Lady T, the fiery, fearless songstress who sang her truth, fought for her freedom, and left an indelible mark on music history. Rest in peace, Teena Marie. Your voice still echoes and your influence lives on.